Hey everyone, Emily Collins here. So today we're going to be working on a kind of Mula Bandha focused flow. So if you don't know what Mula Bandha is, it's the pelvic floor lock. So we actually use this in a ton of poses kind of unintentionally, and this practice is kind of get a way to start thinking about it a little bit more and in what ways you could use it in your practice, your daily life. So one way to think about this is kind of the sort of muscles you might squeeze when you have to use the bathroom and are trying not to. It's kind of the same sensation there. So using this is really pivotal to a lot of standing poses. It kind of helps to start to bring that energy in an upward direction instead of, in a sense, pouring out. So it really just begins to help engage the entire body and all of that energy interconnectedly. So we're going to start in a seated position. You could be in hero's pose on your knees or whatever way feels really comfortable for you. And just starting to take nice, easy breaths. Maybe rolling your shoulders a little bit to release them. Maybe letting your neck go a little bit. And eventually just finding yourself in a nice, easy pose here. Maybe starting to find a little bit of motion side to side. And even here you could focus on that Mula Bandha, just noticing how it roots you in place. And ironically, it's really the same place of the root chakra, which kind of creates the basis of our being, a sense of grounding, a sense of interconnectedness. So having all of that in this one location, how it almost brings you back as if you were a flag or some sort of little thing waving in the wind, and always this one source, this one point is pulling you back to center. And eventually just finding that center point, releasing the rocking motion, and just coming to a point of stillness. You start to notice any sensations around you. Anything about your body, or just the atmosphere, everything around you, anything that you could take in. Trying to have no judgment or comment towards any of it, but just noticing all of these little things. I'm going to take a big inhale, reach those hands overhead. Slowly folding forward here. Just letting your head go, neck go. Releasing really comfortably here. Maybe finding some little rocking motions here if that feels good. Just really noticing what feels good here. Maybe slowly starting to walk those hands all the way to the right. A little twist here. Maybe playing with the rocking up and down, or deepening that twist a little bit, whatever feels good here. Just playing with that for a few breaths. And then slowly all the way to the opposite side here. Breathing into the space here. Maybe rocking again or twisting a little bit deeper, whatever feels good. Noticing maybe if this side feels a little bit different than the other side. And then all the way back to center. Just a couple more breaths in center, releasing downward here. And then lifting all the way back up, planting those hands behind you, stretching the shoulders, maybe lifting the hips off the ground a little bit. And then eventually we're going to come forward and rock forward all the way into tabletop pose. Nice and easy here. Hands under your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Just rocking it out a little bit, starting to wake up that spine. We're going to inhale, dropping that belly, lifting the head and gaze for cow. Exhale, pushing the mat away for cat. Inhale for cow. Maybe adding some little natural intuitive movement here. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow once more. Exhale for cat. Then coming back to center, tucking those back toes, lifting those hips, pushing it up right away, down dog. Rocking it out side to side, bending one leg or the other. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend those knees and slowly walk to the very top of your mat. Just releasing here. Hanging out, maybe grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll. Just releasing, nice and easy. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up one bird at a time all the way to the top. And exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Here, we're going to start to engage lifting all 10 toes and lowering them down one at a time. Pulling through your foot lock here and all the way up, engaging as you lift through your quads, as you lift your knees. And engaging your Mula Bandha here, really feeling this engagement in your pelvic floor lock as you pull up, squeezing just in that center point, but not so much that you're clenching everything in that area, just feeling in a slight sense so that it feels like a lift. Pulling that navel in, the shoulders back, neck long, everything awakened here. All the way to the top of your crown, pulling all the way upward. All right, inhale, lifting those hands to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step into back high plank. Hanging out for a breath here. Even here, you could ever so slightly engage that pelvic floor to pull forward. But just noticing it here. You really don't have to engage it that much. Just noticing how it's always present. Dropping those knees first, lowering down all the way to your belly. Lifting for a low cobra. Falling back down, tucking those back toes, lifting it all the way back up. Down dog here. Big easy breaths. Inhale that right leg all the way to the sky. Opening it up here. And then exhale, knee to nose, step it through low lunge. So hanging out here for a breath. Just noticing what's really keeping you steady here. Noticing the sort of engagement you could have in the pelvic floor to continue lifting rather than just dumping down. Noticing that difference. Starting to roll all the way up to your high crescent. Hanging out here for a breath. And same thing here. Noticing how the pelvic floor keeps you from dipping all the way down to lifting partially. Just seeing that sensation there. That balance of the in-between. Holding for a breath here. And then open it up, coming into your warrior two. Breathing into space, maybe releasing the shoulders if there's a little tension building up there. Or just releasing outward. So again, noticing here once more what the pelvic floor can do to continue lifting and engaging, just enough so that you're not just dumping and releasing down. You could definitely tell the difference if you play with it a couple times. And inhale, reversing your warrior. And exhale, folding all the way forward. Any motion with your arm here, that feels good. Big easy breaths. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, cartwheel those hands to the ground, stepping it back, high plank. And lowering down here, going through your chaturanga, up dog, pushing it back to down dog. Inhale that left leg all the way to the sky, opening up here. And then exhale, knee to nose, step through low lunge. Again, noticing what's keeping you steady here rather than jumping down, holding up. Big easy breaths here. And then slowly starting to rise up, rolling up to your high crescent. Again, noticing this difference here in how you could hold yourself through the pelvic floor, and noticing how when you start to think about and focus on that area, all of that energy starts to rise upward. Rather than sinking or just kind of floating around in whatever way. Just big easy breaths hanging out here. And then opening up to your warrior two. And maybe releasing the shoulders for a second to let go, relax, before engaging outward. And reversing your warrior, lifting the hand to the sky. Exhale, folding forward, extended side angle. Same thing here, any motion with your arm that feels really good. Then slowly starting to rise, cartwheel those hands to the ground, stepping back, high plank. And again, going through your flow or just pushing it straight back to down dog. I like to say always options to skip because it really depends on the day, what your mood is, what's feeling good for you and what's not. And you should listen to that. That's kind of the point of yoga in my opinion. Just gazing forward, bending those knees and slowly stepping to the very top of your mat or hopping. Again, rocking it out side to side here. We're going to start to heel to those feet all the way outward and lower down into a Malasana squat. If you want this to be more supportive, you can place a block or a pillow underneath your pelvis there. Just engaging here, using your elbows to push outward and finding that difference between lift and dumping all the way down. Lifting, dumping all the way down. And noticing how that Mula Bandha pelvic floor lock can engage to assist you here so that your energy, instead of just sinking, dumping downward, is still lifting. Noticing that play. And dropping that right hand there, we're going to lift the left all the way to the sky. Nice opening there. And then switching it out other side. Releasing down. Just rocking slightly forward and back, playing a little bit deeper into that hip opening before slowly rising, folding forward into wide-legged forward fold. Rocking it out side to side here. Just big release. I'm going to heel to those feet all the way back inward and stepping the right foot in ever so slightly forward, stepping that right foot back and opening out here into a bigger wide-legged forward fold, just folding downward here. Rocking it out. With those feet pointing out, we're going to slowly start to lift up, coming into goddess pose here. Any position with your hands or arms that feels good for you, you can play with here. Big, easy breaths. And again, noticing that difference between sinking down and lifting up and trying to find that balance in between where you feel that lift and engagement of energy all the way flowing upward to the very top of your crown. Big, easy breaths here. We're going to inhale, lift up ever so slightly. Exhale, sinking back down. Inhale, lifting ever so slightly. Exhale, sinking back down. Really focusing, engaging here. One more time, inhale ever so slightly. Exhale, folding back down. And inhale all the way up. Big fold all the way forward. Rocking it out once more. So to walk those hands all the way over to the left here. Big, easy breath. And then all the way over to the right. Slowly starting to come back to our low lunge here. Inhale as we lift up. Exhale, folding it back down. Line that back foot all the way up for a warrior three or a half standing split here. And then dropping that foot next to the other. Just rocking it out here. We're going to inhale, rising all the way up one vertebra at a time, lifting those hands to the sky. Exhale, folding downward. Hands start center. Big, easy breaths here. Again, seeing what you can do to engage here. Picking up all 10 toes, lowering them down one at a time. Feeling those knees lift, quads engage, Mula Bandha engaging here, lifting up, core pulling in, ribs tucking inward, shoulders relaxing back and down, and space within your neck. Face nevertheless relaxing as the energy flows all the way up to the top of your head and beyond. Noticing how thinking about this pose in this way, instead of just standing, relaxing, hanging out, how it changes how it feels for you, how it changes where your thoughts are flowing. Big inhale, lifting all the way to the sky. Big exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And slowly stepping that right foot all the way back. Opening up here, coming into another wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to face you so you can actually see what's happening. And again, just rocking it out side to side. Starting to point those toes all the way outward and lifting up once more, goddess pose. Yes, we're here again. Again, playing with this difference on this side, noticing that difference between sinking and lifting and finding that balance between. And any motions with your hands that feel good, anything that feels supportive. And inhale, lift slightly. Exhale, sink back down. Still engaging. Inhale, sinks, lift slightly. Exhale, right back down. Inhale one more time, lifting. Exhale all the way back down. And then big lift all the way to the sky. Exhale, fold. This time reaching over the right first. And then all the way over to the left. Then all the way back to the starting point. This time with the left foot coming front, lifting either into a warrior three or half standing split here. And then planting that foot right next to the other, rocking it out side to side. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time with other feet hip width distance apart or big toes just touch, slight sliver between your heels, rising up to your chair pose here. Hands can come to heart center, fold back, and airplane arms, maybe binding, whatever feels really good here. Breathing into the space, noticing what ways you could find that same lift here instead of just sinking all the way back, and finding that balance in between. Big inhale, lifting all the way to the sky. Exhale, tilting up to the right ear. Big easy breaths, maybe expanding those arms outward if that feels better for you. And big lift all the way to the sky. Exhale, opening out to the left. Big easy breaths, maybe expanding out here. All the way up to center. Exhale, folding down. Stepping it back to your high plank. And again, either going through your flow or pushing it right away back to down dog. Big easy breaths here. Releasing your legs a little bit, bending one leg or the other. And inhale, lift that right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to step it through low lunge. Right away, lifting up to your high crescent. And opening up to that warrior two. Hanging out here for a breath, playing with that engagement. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up, reverse triangle, straightening that front leg. And then coming forward, triangle pose. Rising up one more time. And then exhale, cartwheels, hands to ground, step it back, high plank. Again, going through your vinyasa or pushing it straight away, back to down dog. From here, inhale, lift that left leg to the sky, open up. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through low lunge. Right away, rising up to your high crescent. And opening up to your warrior two. Noticing that engagement once more, how you could involve it in your practice here. Reversing your warrior. And then folding forward, extended side angle. Holding for a breath. Rising up, reverse triangle, straightening that front leg. And then folding forward, triangle pose. Big, easy breaths here. Rising up once more. Exhale, cartwheel, those hands to the ground, step in a back high plank. Hanging out for a breath here, engaging that core. Maybe finding some slight movement side to side, or little circles, waking up your wrists and core a little bit more. And then dropping those knees, lowering all the way down, coming into a nice, easy, resting up dog. Looking over one shoulder or the other. Big, easy breaths here. And slowly shifting back, coming into a nice, easy child's pose. Big breaths here. Breathing into the space of your body. Maybe slowly, you're going to walk your hands over the right, stacking your left onto the right. Feeling a little side stretch here, breathing into that space. And slowly walking all the way over the left, maybe stacking the right onto the left here. And breathing into that right side body, making space there. Coming all the way back to center, we're going to slowly start to lift up. And coming into a nice, easy seated position here. Rocking back onto our backs here. Planting our feet directly down. We're going to start to play into some bridge pose. So keeping your hands flat, your shoulders maybe peeling under a little bit, starting to lift up. Engaging here and noticing any interconnected sense of energy from that core, the pelvis, all the way rising up. Just big, easy breaths here. And exhale, slowly starting to lower down. 2 more times, just like that, big lift all the way to the sky. Big, easy breaths here, really engaging. And lowering all the way down once more. One more time, lifting all the way up, nice and easy here. Big breaths. One more big breath. And then slowly lowering all the way down. Maybe wiggling those feet to the outside edge of your mat and just rocking it out side to side. Either for a broken bridge or some wind wipers here. And release our left leg all the way down to the ground and pull that right leg in. Big squeeze here. Maybe extending out for a little calf release there. And slowly folding it over the left, coming into supine twist, opening that right arm out to the right here. Big, easy breaths. Emphasizing more your shoulder meeting the mat than the knee, just relaxing downward. Slowly starting to pull that knee all the way back in, big squeeze, and release it out, exchanging it for the left. Pulling it in, maybe straightening out for a little calf stretch here. If we're eventually folding all the way over to the right, opening out that left shoulder, coming into supine twist on this side. Slowly turning your eyes all the way back up, big squeeze here, and then pulling both knees in and taking any last pose that's really going to feel good for you, maybe happy baby or shoulders stand or anything that's going to really be calling for you right now, listening to what your body needs. Eventually taking a really big squeeze all the way in, biggest breath all the way to the top, and then big exhale, releasing all the way out into your Shavasana. Letting everything feel heavy. No more tension, no more locks. Just letting everything really, truly go. Sinking into the mat. Letting your breath guide you deeper and deeper into your Shavasana. whenever you're ready, just start to bringing back life to your body. Just start to make your breath a little more active. And starting to find slight movement in your fingers or toes, rocking your head side to side. Maybe taking a big overhead stretch, full body stretch. Eventually, either staying where you are, falling to one side in fetal pose, nice and easy. And either staying there, slowly starting to rise up to a seated position, your eyes still closed, spine tall. Taking a big inhale. Nice, easy exhale. 2 more big inhale. Nice, easy exhale. 1 more big inhale. Big, easy exhale. Bringing the palms to touch all the way to the top. Exhale, slowly guiding those hands down past your third eye center, past your lips, and all the way to your heart. Just coming back to your natural breath, just for a few more moments. Noticing what it feels like to hold no control over it, no tension. And slowly allowing your eyelids to flutter open. And namaste. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.